you. And yes, I keep saying you're blessed. Each time you come here, I keep saying you blessed. I come with a message, but each time I come here, just know that you are blessed. You know, this is the day that the Lord has made, and I am going to be glad and I'm going to rejoice in it. Come on, friends, let's rejoice this particular day and this moment and give God some thanksgiving and praise. If God woke you up this morning, tell God thank you. If you realize you got a reason to be thankful and to be grateful and you still got breath in you, come on, tell God thank you. It's so good to understand the purpose and the reason why God still got you living. Listen, you are on this particular journey for a reason. You was chosen and you showed up, and you are thankful and you are more than grateful to be here at this time and at this purpose in your life. For the individuals that don't understand what this channel is about, listen, I talk about prayer. I talk about breaking those generational cycles that continue to try to recycle in our particular life, doing the work too. You know, it makes a difference when you are all in with doing the work. What do doing the work mean? Inwardly, you have to go within and do your own inner work. No one can do it for you. You have to, do it for yourself. I also talk about the miracles, the miracle that you are, and things. I also understand, too, that God is so worthy to be praised and God can do anything. If you just desire the hand of God to be upon your life. And I also encourage my friends to read the word for yourself. Just don't listen to what others have to say. Sometimes when you get that time and when you get away, you read that word for yourself. You crack that word open for yourself. Ask God to lead you to scriptures and to those particular pages that will motivate you, that will encourage you. Ask God to show you stories in that word if you're that believer that go to that word. Not that it's just sitting, around and it's getting dust on it. Come through Holy Ghost and speak. But you're picking it up because you want revelation for your life. I'm the friend that I am here to encourage you, not just on YouTube, but in my everyday life. I'm about this life. I live this life, and even when I'm off course, I know how to get back on course. I know how to be in a repentive mode, asking God to forgive me of all my sins, because that is key. You must stay prayed up, and you definitely have to, be with a great understanding to know that, listen, you're not counted out. You can always have a place, with God. As long as you keep your hands in God's hands, everything is going to be okay, friends. But I thank my friends for coming here. That's what I want to say as well. But this is what I want to say, friends. I just want you to know, by you being here, it's a blessing. Because if you showed up today to be blessed, guess what? It was already upon you before you showed up. But let me tell you about a little story and everything. Blessings to you, friend, and good morning. I just want my friends to know, for the ones who know me and have came to support me and everything, once again, let me say it, I appreciate you. But you remember, it was a once upon a time, if you can remember, and I'm saying this now, and I'm going to be very blessed by saying this. If you never seen an example of like when things go down in somebody's family life and you wanted to see how individual need to, assume their position secretly and quietly. Well, this is the friend of, well, about all of my friends that's here. If you understand who this friend is and everything, and by my daughter being a content creator, and I got to talk about this now because I said it was a releasing time that God would release me to talk about certain things, and I constantly kept saying that, and I say time and it's everything. But friends, when the enemy came through like a flood and like a standard, as if it had done lost all what you call five senses, and if it just wanted to have its way in my particular family life, when the enemy knocked on my door and we was in the court system, when I say the court system, fighting and battling out, you get what I mean, through it was just not so great. And I say it like that. And yes, as a family, it was support there and everything according to the particular case, because it affected what you call my living grandchildren, that was upon the face of the earth and still is at this time. Not the one, that have just came into the world, but when it did what you call affect the family. And I say affect because divorces can be messy, and as well when you put a cap on it, and then when you're going through what you call a custody battle. I want to talk about this, friends, for individuals that may go or that is going through it. And let me say this in a blessed way for somebody that is going through it. And if you don't know what to do, you're going to have to stand still. Come on, friend, get a seat, get a chair, stop what you're doing. For those that may be that grandmother, that auntie, or whatever, that overseer, you're going to have to stand still. You're going to have to pray. And individuals around you, even the other individuals, going to have to know your stance in it, and you can't move. And you're going to have to stay encouraged for everybody. You're going to even have to tell them that, listen, we don't even have to go through this like this if you understand that this is not how you showed up for the journey, and this is not the where how, you even can imagine of what's about to go down. Because one thing about going through a custody battle, it tears up the family. It tears up good relationships that had a foundation. And when I say good relationships that was not supposed to have been torn up, that's when you know it's the trick of the enemy. Come on, Holy Ghost, and speak, because this word is for somebody. I had to come here being equipped enough to talk about it, and now to be a blessing for somebody. No, it is not what you call easy when you're going through, when someone that you were close to and that you love, and someone possibly that you have even shared life with, on that end. But as a what you call standing individual, as being a grandparent, my only advice in the situation is that you take, the route, and you just pray. You pray for everybody. You pray that peace will be. And even if peace is not, you continue to pray. Because see, one day when those particular children and when things begin to change, you want to know and you want to understand that you did what you needed to do. You probably may not have liked it, the situation, and you probably even told the authorities that was to be at that time that, listen, your family didn't deserve to be in the courts. And that probably was true, because first of all, you were a citizen of the city. You fought, in other words, you saved lives for the city. There was nothing apparently wrong with, what you call the virtue of your family, according to how maybe, you showed up in life or whatever, all this that you done did for the city. And now, you're called, or someone in your family is called, your grandchildren, because when things go to court, when it affect your children, meaning your grandchildren, if you're a loving grandparent and if you're truly concerned, you're gonna have a reason in it. You're gonna have a reason to stand up. It's not about, not about your business. See, that's what's wrong with society right now. We don't have enough what you call of the elders to stand up and to fight. We sit back sometimes, not everybody, and we act like that, it's nothing that you can do. You can do, what is necessary, and that's to stand up and to take a stand and to do what's right. And the reason why you want to take a stand to do what's right, because once again, as life began to change and as years pass by, everybody will get to know and to know all of that what went on and that went down. It all need what you call a repentance and a knowing that it just wasn't right. It's a way that you work things out. Everything don't have to go to court, especially when it's created out of negativity and a situation that was wrong and a situation that can be talked about without, courts. But when individuals are adamant about going to court to prove a point, and most of all, to basically to tear underwears to the world, to make the world feel like that they are empowered, they got money, but quiet money is quiet. And the one thing that I will say is that it's not necessary to prove to anyone how much money you got, because one thing about quiet money, it rests, and it rests for years, and it does just that. But quiet money don't like to be ignorant and spending either, let me say that much. Quiet money like to know that it's quiet and it's blessed enough to do what it need to do, and such instances when it's emergency. But when it comes to foolery and plainness and everything, then that's not cool for anyone. And I have been in the situation by all of my friends understanding it, but you just never heard my version. I just felt like that it was unnecessary. And this, how do it connect up with the power of prayer? The reason why I connect up with the power of prayer, because I was this particular grandmother standing in the gap. And even the other individuals understood that I was standing in the gap. I was praying. I just wanted peace, no matter what the situation was. Because when an individual have came to your household, they stayed in your household, stayed in them rooms, that is now being existed and being lived in upon with, my grandchildren literally stayed, literally ate, slept in the bed and everything, in order to get up on their feet and to go about life and to make sure that they take care of their family. And then when things begin to change, because I understand when people are young, they can go off and they can catch a desire or chasing or trying to embrace life and not understanding it and everything. But one thing about it, when you create life and when you create family, you got to make sure that that's what you want, and you're on purpose to do it. But I just was never an individual, and I even stand today. If families are in the court system, you only go to court unless it's necessarily. You got to be outright what you call abusive, outright to the point to whereby no one can basically, get along, to whereby it will cause harm. It will cause what you call a situation to whereby it's just not whole and wholesome. That was never about this particular situation, what I'm talking about. It's just that when the enemy came in like a flood, it was manipulation. It was things that was being said. It was things that had even came out. Everybody, understand, because whatever is court documents, I can talk about it and everything. It was just so much manipulation going on, child. I had to go in my prayer ward area, and I just stayed in it. I kept praying. I was even had my awesome counselors upon me to whereby we prayed and whereby it was understood. Like I said, I got some prophetic friends that was in my life. You need those individuals that will be in your life if you're a prayer warrior and intercessor, to whereby individuals can basically tap in and to tell you everything that was going on. It even was prophesied that the case was won and everything way before it entered there. It was prophesied that it was negative activities from dark spaces that was going on. It was prophesied that there was just just nothing but darkness, that was attacking my family at that time. So I found myself in a place to do nothing but pray and everything and to intercede, because if you don't understand what warfare is, and when all of a sudden that you used to be what you call family to an individual, and then things change, and it changed to make you look like you're not worthy, or not you're not appreciated. And then the people in the streets don't really know the business. They only know what you feed them, but they don't know basically behind the scenes, how you seen someone come up from not having anything to go and to do what they needed to do or to be for the family and everything. And then they get all confused, because then you got a heated conversation when a person, on the other end, and things. And why am I talking about this? Let me stop right here and chase this rabbit, because this message is going to help somebody and everything. And when I say help, so that you that is interceding, you stand in the gap. You don't play with them devils. You don't play with them entities, those devices and everything that is coming your way. It's not that I'm saying, okay, them individuals are the devil. No, I'm saying what is in a person and what is operating. You don't play with them particular spirits, because you already know the assignment. When I say that things come to kill, steal, and to destroy, meaning to just try to take life from you, this is an episode to whereby if it could have took life, if it could have did any damage, if it could have just, made a person just not get back up, this was something that tried to be what you call used as a weapon and to be weaponized. It even went so far to whereby people went to them dark, website. It came out in the courts. I'm not making it up. To whereby they was having a relationship, feeding the individuals with information, to whereby that part, I understand. People do what they want to do when they in them gossip areas, but they were feeding the individuals the information and, making and creating up, what you call, what do you call it when people don't have a faces or them fake accounts or whatever, to whereby they can come and they can just jot down and say what they want to say. But not only was they doing that, but they was feeding it, to these particular other places, to whereby they can be creative and do a different spin on it. But I just want to say this much: at a time and a season that Gigi had to experience and go through this, only thing I can say is look at God. God will bring you through it, and he will bless you, and he will bless your family, and he will keep your family covered. But now I would say the healthy part about everything is not giving up and keeping the faith and keeping the peace. You, as as that particular grandparent, auntie, or whoever you are that do have a part, what you call, with raising up. It could be your nieces, it could be your nephews, it could be your grandkids. Like I say, I'm sharing this because somebody need to be blessed. This is not to be meant to be spun any different, but this is real personal. I went through it, and when I say I went through it enough to understand that, listen, it was unnecessary to just cause chaos for no reason. I feel like that it's a way that, anyone can resolve anything when there is peace. With no peace, there is always what you call war. And with war, there always come with what you call a spirit of, basically, I'm going to get you, a spirit of hate. And I say it like that, and I got to say it like that because no good thing come from out of something that is, spent on that, such as no love and no peace and things like that. But when you move in love and when you move in peace, it's like we can sit down, we can talk about it. We can get the child support right. We can get the needs right. We can get all those things right without having the system in place. But when things are, once again, being manipulated, you really can't even get things in place because it's so much chaos. It's so much, I got to prove my point. I got to say this and I got to say that and I got to paint you out to be the negative person. I got to, just do things completely the way that, I know it ain't right, but I'm going to do it anyway. I experienced and I seen what you call that wickedness and the hand of the enemy just come through completely what you call, took what you call the relationship away, how it was built. I was that good, what you call, individual toward the whole entire situation, even when things got heated up behind the scenes, when individuals wanted to, be basically wanted to fight and things like that. I had to be that particular light. I had to tell and speak life to the individual and say, don't lose everything. You done came all the way here to lose everything. I had to speak unto that particular spirit, even if it was against me. They know that I had to speak unto their particular spirit because it's like you got too much to lose over something now that you're trying to hold on to, but you'll find out. But the one thing I found out, let me tell you something. When you are, I put it this way, when you are unknowing in life the whole truth, and when it comes to you, I'm the vessel to let you know that I knew that you didn't understand. I'm the vessel to let you know that I understood at that time that where you was at, you had a journey to go through to grasp it. I'm the vessel now that God had to raise up and now to teach others about how do you stand when you know that you have been affected and it was the wrong way and it came after your family. See, my whole family consists of with my grandkids, period. It's not just about my husband or my children. My grandkids is included because I am the grandmother. And as being a grandmother and a living grandmother that got her right state of mind, that got the ability to speak, that got the ability to show up with sound wisdom, I did that. Even when the court procedures was going on, they asked me, what did I think that could be necessary? And I always said proper communication. But one thing I will say, when you are in the court system, it's all about, and these are my thoughts, it's about money and money. And as long as you want to drag it out and as long as you want to have your money attached to it, and if you're the individual that want to carry the war, then it will continue to proceed. But when you wake up and when you realize it's unnecessary, that's when you can know that you can live in this life and you can be blessed. And when I say you can be blessed, your families can get along, really everybody can get along. That doesn't necessarily mean now that you may have the best relationship, because you remember, injury done came in. But you can find a way to get along, because when you got children involved, you don't want them to have a history of knowing the truth now when they grow up to understand the full measure and what happened. Because see, when that kicks in, that's when it come that aha moment. And when you can basically, someone is saying name it, call for an edit. When you are basically, that's a distraction now. The devil is a liar. But when you can basically, come in and now have peace about everything, you know what to do. Because as long as you sowing peace, what I'm saying, as being a living grandparent, auntie, uncle, whatever your position is, if you remain peace, then therefore when everything is growing up around you, then they'll know that I know that this particular individual that was a living vessel, they talk nothing but peace and to say you do what's right. Now, if you want to know it from my mouth, that's all I did. See, I wasn't in the trenches with the dark website, feeding them anything and everything. They couldn't even come to me and lure me in information and messages. That's why I say I have experienced this social media, behind the scenes to see how dirty and how people get down. That's their business. The only thing that I can say, God bless them. You know, God, deliver them. Give them something else to do that will bring what you call greatness to life and humanity. But that is definitely not the way, because when you get into the hurt part and when you don't understand the real reason around it, and if you just only going off of what you think and assuming, but you're afraid to go to that living vessel that you know that's living in peace, and they ain't gonna lie, they ain't gonna wage no war. God knows, I won't. That's why I say if you ask me something, I'll be truthful. But the one thing about truth, it don't want to be heard from individuals that is doing what you call the background of the unnecessary foolishness of how they sow dirty seeds. They don't want the real truth. They want part of the truth. That's why when you're in dark trenches, the dark trenches would never elevate what you call the real truth, because they love gossip and they love what you call basically entertainment. I don't feel like at this time, because I know that somebody is about to go through something in court that's dealing and surrounding around a custody battle. What you're gonna have to do, if you can't stand still and if you don't have, the ability, because it unravels you. Somebody trying to, basically take your children away from you, basically trying to paint a picture as if, I don't care where you live at, but basically trying to make you feel as if you are not what you call worthy, and you're an unkept individual, and you know that you came from a good what you call standing family and everything. Nobody is perfect. Everybody have issues in their life. If in other words, if you know that you're going to unravel, get somebody else to keep you grounded and to speak life into your ears. Now, they can't control everything and how you think and what you do, but make sure you have those individuals that's going to cover you and that's going to be prayerful, because it's definitely going to be necessary. That journey is not an easy journey, because when you go to bed at night, you want to sleep good. You don't want to sleep as if you intentionally tried to hurt somebody. I'm telling you what I know, not what I think. Because if you intentionally trying to hurt somebody, if you intentionally trying to see somebody suffer, you got a negative what you call thing that's applied to your life, and it's going to come full circle back around to you. Now, what individuals will not know and what they will not see, they won't see what you're going through, because you won't show it to them. You're going to paint a picture if you're the negative individuals, if everything is perfect. But I'm going to tell you what God will do to you if you stand still, and if you're an individual that have been affected or been affected and everything, He going to raise you up. He going to bless you. But you're going to have to do that inner work, and it requires your attitude. It requires you to just stand still. Anything that is unjust and unright, it requires you to stand still. So the reason why I can talk about the power of prayer, friends, y'all seen it. Y'all understand that, listen, Gigi may have been quiet, but I'm sure behind the scenes she was praying. Absolutely. That's why I'm like, a quiet soul is a blessed soul when they are in the prayer. Trenches are, in the prayer area praying. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know everything, but just stay prayerful. And then have that love that you need for those individuals that worked against you so strongly and so hardly, that probably went to levels and areas and tried to just, do the utmost of things that was unrighteous. You still got to love, because guess what? Now that you understand the lesson, you can go and you can share it and you can teach others. You don't have to teach it as if, it was a bad lesson. You can teach it as if, the most thing that I learned is I had to look at it and say, Lord, this was a lesson for me to understand. Maybe it was patience. Maybe it was that power to forgive. Maybe it was the ability to say, there are some things that I need to correct in my life that is showing up right now. Because the one thing I do know, when love is snatched out of you, that's a game changer within itself. Then you walk around with a whole lot of things that is unnecessary. I know what I'm talking about. And those are the spirits that would try to attach to you, that will intentionally try to wage war within your spirit, to try to make you become what you call a bitter soul when you're a blessed soul. That's why I say speak life into your life. You know that you're not, bitter. You know that you're not, an individual that is not blessed. You know that. You already know that you blessed. You already know that you come from a blessed bloodline, that part. See, when you know your bloodline, you have to reposition yourself, and you have to go in now and you have to tell God, Lord, here I am. It's like redoing things all the way back over in your life. Because one thing I will say, when you know that you know that you know that you are blessed, you got to stand firm in knowing that. I can't explain why things happen in nobody's life, but the one thing I can say, if you walking in your life the right way, say your journey take a different path, say that something come in and just wage war with you, or say that something that was done that was just not right, and you probably intervened and you probably fought, with your hands instead of with your spirit. When you get an opportunity to sit back and to look at things as years pass, you'll begin to understand that this too shall pass, and it did pass, and there's lessons and levels to learn from it. But you have to be willing. You have to be willing to be that vessel. And being that vessel, like I say, it comes with being humble, and it definitely comes with just, allowing God to be all in your life. Is there any questions in the particular chat at this particular time? I told my friends that I would be coming back. I would be sharing for the friends that, wanted to know, why I even created my own channel, because I wanted friends to get to know me for me. Not on the other side. I love, and I support, the channel and the positive things that my daughter is doing with YouTube. I thank God for all of the individuals that have supported her, basically that have been a blessing to her, especially, now that, we are both doing real estate. I just want to say thank you, but I just want my friends to know that, time and opportunity and chances to just renew your heart. And especially when you know that people come on this YouTube space, they watch you, they take notes, they try to size you up. I'm this real friend of well, but I'm going to tell it like, not just like it is, but I'm going to tell my truth, and this can lead a person to salvation. This can lead an individual for a change in life, because guess what? I'm not suited up. I'm not what you call just trying to be perfect because, I just want people to think I'm perfect. No, my life have came with some unwinding roads, or some roads that, I didn't want to go down, but because God chose me, and because, he told me that I was equipped to, do the journey, I'm journeying in my life. Meaning, when I say journey, meaning that anything that is coming up now, I am being able now to say, well, Lord, am I standing right? Am I in the right position? Am I this forgiving individual that I need to, be? How do your light shine in my life right now? Am I equipped for the journey? Yes, I am equipped for the journey, because guess what? I live this life. I talk this life. I'm able now to sit down with individuals that I may once, that's why I say if you ain't strong enough, don't do it. I can sit down with individuals that I may have had an alt with. They may have had an alt with me. I can do it, but if they can't do it, it's okay. But when you begin to now to align yourself with that divine knowing that God got for you in your life, can't nothing what you call be a hindrance to you. You will be more of a blessing to individuals, because now not only did your life go through, but you experienced it, and you experienced it to a level to whereby you silently and you secretly, you just prayed and you just believed God and look at God, and that's how that light will shine upon your life. Look at God. Oh God, I thank you. I just want God to bless anybody that is going through at this time, anybody that is, feeling like that, listen, you in this particular custody battle as being a grandparent, being an auntie, you can be a mother that's going through whatever that you're going through, a nasty divorce, a divorce that, showed up to where about because you expressed it, on YouTube, or you expressed it to friends or whatever, however, what's going on. I just want you to know, align yourself up to be what you call in the right position to where about, and I'm gonna step out here because the sun is out, to be in the right position and everything to where about all of your blessings can flow. Because one thing, when you align yourself up to be in the right position, there will be nothing that will be able to stop any of your blessings. Your blessings gonna flow, but it take courage, and well, it does, courage and encouragement. And the reason why I say it take courage, the courage will come because you're gonna have to lay down some of them things that how you would normally react to a situation, going in it with a warlike mindset. Don't you know that's all the devices and the negativity want you to do? To war and to get basically out of your spiritual suit, to war completely differently than what the spirit will want you, to be. That's all it come to do. It come to unravel you. And when you're not unraveled and when you're sitting in that peace, that's when you know that God, I live for you, period. I'm aligned to what is right, what I need to do. When you now understand the true meaning of alignment and everything, it doesn't have to do pressed in with materialistic things and all of that. Meaning your whole mind, body, and soul is aligned. And when you align right, you got the door open for peace. You have the door open for love. These are the friends, that I like connecting up with. And then when I have to connect up to them individual friends that is not aligned that way, my thing is I got to carry a spirit of blessings in my mindset, in my heart. I had to change my ways, of how my old ways would go in and war. And I just literally, when I say change, I changed them for the benefit and for the good of how I know that God wanted to change me and how he wanted me to show up in life. When you show up in life, everything that's for your good, it's already here. It's already here. Press in and believe. Tell God thank you. Tell God thank you for overcoming the things that you thought that you could not overcome. Tell God thank you for renewing your love. Tell God thank you just for pulling you from out of that pit. Tell God thank you for keeping your mindset right, the whereby you just didn't lose it, but God bless you more abundantly. Tell God thank you. Tell God thank you for everything that, the forces of the devices think that it did unto you or even unto your family, that God made a way. Show up in life now, be the vessel. If you have been what you call an individual, that has been in this YouTube, streets, I would say this much. If people came or if they discovered you, especially me, I'm talking from my particular experience. If people experience you from a level of your family and the things that they seen what you did with your family and they were liking it, and when things change, you show up and you be the best virgin, because that's the only thing that people get or see. And then not only do you show up, you be the best virgin in real life, not just when you pick up the camera. When you go in the streets, you be the best virgin. When I say the best virgin, people know it. People can feel your spirit. They can feel your energy. They can feel it. And when I say they can feel it, they know it. You don't even have to prove it, because you walking in it, you being about it. You're not practicing the things that, your adversary may be practicing and thinking about and saying, what can I conjure up? What can I, go now into those other places, that want the gossip? Just a real factor. Even the places that do the gossip, God bless them, because they belong to somebody. They have a purpose in life. This is just real talk. They belong to somebody. Sometimes, them old nasty gossip websites, it can be a blessing for you. A blessing in a way, because don't you know, when people now, when they throw salt in the game upon you, and when you dig deep and when you align with God, don't you know they push more blessings out of you? Because now God got to show up and have the most favor in your life because you align right. Individuals may not understand that that's in them dark places because they haven't given God that opportunity to just show up. When you want to be blessed, I don't think I can just say, change your life, change your attitude, change your thinking. I did. I had to change my whole entire thinking, not because of this situation, but I just had to change my thinking. You know, how I process things, how I look at things, how I look now at those adversary things that came upon my life, not just the court situation, but, you know, just my journey in life. Just my journey in life. But I shared this court situation because timing. I kept saying timing is everything. I wasn't supposed to say a whole lot there. It wasn't that I was scared, but I know that raw energy that was in me, you know, it would have did some things that wouldn't have been, you know, right. And when I say right, like necessary, it could have turned the tables. But God, that's why God say, peace be still. When you got a praying heart and when you got a good heart and when your heart mean well for the situation and for your family, God know how to come through. He know how to bless you. He know what to do. He know the hands of the adversary of what individuals are trying to do and try to do it. And if they continue to live their life like, you know, oh, they ain't did nothing, they just done wipe, they know, like everything was cool, they ain't sold nothing, they was negative, they wasn't negative, they lied. And when you know that a person is a liar, you don't have to, you know what I mean, think about not believing it. You believe that. You believe that. But at the same token, and knowing that they're a liar, you still got to have what you call grace and mercy. Like I say, ain't nobody saying sit down and eat and break bread with individuals that done did you so wrong, but have the spirit to know that you see them and you understood their assignment, but the assignment did not work on you. And the reason why it did not work, just like that sun is shining, that sun is shining and it's bright. I don't know whether or not my friends can see it, but the sun done came out, it's shining. The only thing I'm just saying is that when when light is upon you and when God is in you, can't no one stop your blessings. But you have to take the initiative to align yourself and attune yourself with God. And that's what I constantly work on and practice on. When I begin to just align myself with God, friends, my whole journey, even in my latter years, began to just shift and change. You know, as I began to study, I began to write and jot down things different. I began to affirm things different in my life. You know, that I am blessed. I am more than a conqueror. I am success. I love through my trials and through my tribulations and through my challenges. My challenges and my trials and tribulations have taught me lessons of growth. You know, I have evolved, you know. I am more than enough, you know. I am wealthy. Prosperity follows me, you know. I have more than enough that is circulating in my life to whereby I'm never without. These are things that have been around for years. You know, I had to return back to the toolbox to whereby individuals that was ahead of me, they passed and they left me, you know, all of the information, you know, that I needed to recite and to say and to pray, you know, stay in the word. But then you drop down those words that you need for your journey. You know, I am strength. I am powerful. I say these things because that's what I needed the most on my journey. And now that God have created this great abundance light in my life, it's like it's a blessing to me because I can walk in it and I can understand the full purpose of the reason why that God presented lessons in my life, that God presented me as being what you call this individual who I need to be as a family virgin, to be the best virgin of my life, you know, from a wife to a mother, you know, to grandmother, to an auntie, you know, to whatever I am that is presented unto the eyes that is seen, and how they put that respect upon my vessel, not because that, you know, I never made mistakes, but because of the light that they see what God is doing in me. And maybe even if they don't understand that, God, I thank you. Salvation is free, friends. That's why I say you never know who may need you. You never know who may even need to just say, you know, I thank you. Don't ask too many questions when people are doing, you know, that inward work, because sometimes it may be too shameful for them to even talk about it or to you know, come to you and tell you the whole truth of how they did you. They know they did you wrong. They know they wasn't right. They know they was walking around here with hatred for an unknown reason. They understand what they did to you. Never second guess yourself when you know you're lying right. They know that they intentionally set set you up and set traps for you. They know that, they went in areas, to create an atmosphere because they the one needed the cheerleaders. You didn't. When you was going through, the only thing that you was doing, you was asking God, God, make a way. You didn't have to go to sites. You didn't have to, what you did, you fell in the hands of those individuals that knew how to pray and that knew how to war and that can see things in the spirit realm and that told the truth and that prophesied the truth. They told you some things that it basically was like, wow. You may not want it to believe it, but they told you the truth. They told you that, listen, this is what's going on. It's a lot of wickedness that's going on. It's a lot of candle burning. It's a lot of secret things that is going on in the darkness that is trying to take your family out. Financially, spiritual, wholesome, all that. They just coming after your family because guess what? They don't understand why, but you understand it's that great light, because you don't even bother nobody. You done came up in the world whereby nobody didn't even know who you was. Less known. You live your life even when you retire. I'm talking about me right now. I didn't get on a bullhorn and tell nobody what I did and how I did it or none of that. But as I began to be known to the world, eventually bits and pieces came out for the friends that is following me on this page. I didn't show up to say, let me show y'all, or let me talk about, just my life. I never did come that way. But since the light was put on me, I say, Lord, what you want me to do in these YouTube streets? Just straight up. I said, because I ain't got nothing for them. First of all, I don't blog my outfits. I don't even blog my house. I don't even blog the work that goes on. And, if you got eyes to see, if you nosy enough, you can see that I done had some work did majorly, but I don't blog those things. So I know that I didn't come to the space to blog like that. But that's when God said, I called you to pray, but I also called you to share your life journey and testimonies and a blessing of how it possibly could bless somebody else. And I was like, wait a minute, that's a whole lot of stuff now of sharing. But he said, I will guide you, I will lead you. It will be helpful for individuals that is making a change in their life. God don't want me to come off as if, that you're counted out. That's the one thing. He want me to be truthful, and he want individuals to know that, listen, that although you may have sowed some dirty seeds, God still loved you. Now, I don't appreciate anything of what you did, but I'm just a messenger just to say that it's up to you now to get it right. It's up to you now to bear that particular hatchet, what you got, and to live abundant in your life. Don't fake it, but live it the right way. Be true to yourself. Lives and other lives done been created. So one thing about lives and when you got these particular grandchildren, just like me, just like you, friend, you an adult, you had to raise up or you had to grow up and now to get that generation of the lies and the truth. And that generation of the lies and the truth, it can make individuals, it can break them if they don't have a foundation in life. Oh, come on, Holy Ghost, and speak. Foundation is everything. I don't care if somebody was no good, you get me, in your generation. You got to face the truth, but that don't mean you got to be like that. You can change it, if you still living. Say if you just was not a right person, you can change that. Who told you you can't? But see, it come with courage. It come with humility to say, listen, I was wrong. I wasn't right. Yeah, I did do some wicked things that I intentionally tried to hurt you. That come with courage. That come with, like, the ultimate thing of just, what I mean, just embracing God. And everybody's not signed up like that. But I'm telling you, once you sign up in the journey and once you saying you want to be in tune and you want to be in line, that's the right way to go. There's no other way. Everything else is just ways of lies and it pretends and things. That's all it does. But when you start pretending and everything, and when you just be, and when you just become freedom enough now to help individuals with your life journey and everything and how you made it through, what a blessing. You ain't flexing because you want somebody to hurt. You ain't flexing at all. You just being honest to say, no, I don't like parts of my journey and what took place. But hey, I still got to, move along. I got to be able to get along with individuals, I got to be able to tell somebody else you're going to be okay. Quit carrying what you call your battles in the courtroom when they don't even need to be in the court. Quit lying and telling people, that this individual is a horrible individual and you done got 4 kids from them. That ain't right. That ain't right. And you setting them out and you trying to make them look like, you know what I mean, they wasn't right. You was young when you got with them. That ain't right. Tell the truth. Sometimes we have to embrace our own journey and we have to be honest with who we are. Quit trying to make somebody else, image be as if they're a bad person when it ain't them, when you know that they're doing the work. And I'm talking right now directly to myself now. I have to embrace the fact that, listen, if I don't do this inner work for myself, who gonna do it? I can't put it on nobody else to do it for me. I can't. I can't. I can't at all. A person say, when did you do I can't understand what you're saying. So when did you do that? Did you it is if that's I don't understand what you're saying, friend. Make it make sense. Because you hear the message and what I'm saying, and in love, I say that. I'm just saying, you have to walk in love and you have to walk in peace. And Gigi always been about this life. My journey always been transforming unto the life of God and everything. And it has always been what you call in the right, what I say, line to do what's right. I've never been an individual that just wanted to do what's wrong. Let me say that much. But even with having that light and that spirit in you, you can get caught up if you get off the journey. My spirit, I can truly say, I was not a vessel that was birthed in this particular earth to just want to be a negative being. I understand that my assignment. I was not birthed like that. I was birthed to be a light, to be a blessing, to come here, to clarify some things in my own life and to keep shining. And when I say keep shining, shining, when did you do all the stuff? If that's I still don't understand what you're saying. When did you do all that stuff if that's comfortable for you? I'm not getting it because it seems like I'm repeating myself, friend. And someone else help this friend out if you all are texting one another. I'm repeating myself to what I'm saying. If you are a vessel, let me clarify it, friend. If you know that you know, and the only way that you're going to understand this, friend, and I'm talking about a spiritual journey, attacks that may come upon your life, and you probably have questions, the reason why attacks are upon your life or why things turned out this way. Everything is a lesson in life. And the lesson for your particular life is your life. Your journey is completely different from my journey. And if it's some similarities in it, then you can learn some insights and some lessons. But everybody have a journey. The thing about the journey, friend, especially the spiritual journey, when you tap into it, even if you're a babe at tapping into it, you'll know what's right and you'll know what's wrong. But if your journey is so filled with darkness, then you won't be able to understand what's right and wrong because your journey is filled with darkness. So you don't understand that you got an opportunity now to enjoy your journey with light. That you got an opportunity now to enjoy your journey, to not be so negative and not be evil. This is not applying to you, but that's the simplest format that I can explain. My journey, I know that I showed up in life to be light and to be it more abundantly, not to be it on a level of being slick, not to be it on a level of being negative, not to be it on a level to do anything that will hurt or harm anybody. This is my journey. It's just like individuals that take a journey, but you can only see them because you're so pressed into quote unquote unto individuals that may have a name, and that's the only way that you can embrace life. But God just got ordinary people doing the same thing, just on a level of simplicity that can touch the individuals, that they are able to touch. But then sometimes the light can get so confused that the only way individuals think that they can have the salvation unless that they see it in somebody that is bigger or that's with a name. Salvation don't need a name. It just need a willing soul to say, I'm in it to do what's right. God, forgive me of my sin. That's what salvation is, right. So when things begin to come up in your life, you'll know whether or not it's an attack. You'll know whether or not, it's something you need to inwardly correct. you'll know these things, and you stay in the journey, and you do it for a lifetime. When I say a lifetime, meaning you make it a lifetime to live right, to be a better vessel. So I hope that that is clear enough for you and everything, you know. Someone say, yes, ma'am. My channel is not about being Republican. That's a distraction. My channel is about, you know, the power of prayer, the power to love and to embrace, and all of that, you know. What Republican got to do with, you know, basically this conversation? You're a distraction. See, this is the thing, what I'm saying, when people come from dark areas and dark entities, and when you're talking about the love and the power of light, they don't even have no real meaning, of no real purpose of showing up, no other than to distract you. That's what I mean. You have to stay on post. You have to stay on your journey to understand, and you have to have that spirit of the discernment. And you have to understand that some people are just distractors. But at the same token, do you press forward and do you love those individuals? You still got to, you know, just shake it off. Just like what I'm doing. Because there's nowhere in the message that we're about, I'm even talking on about a Republican or whatever. I am light. That's what I am. You know, I embrace light. I embrace love. I embrace peace. I am light. I am light. And so therefore, what light mean to me, how God pressed into me, light mean that I have evolved to the level and to the area whereby I see clearly, not from these carnal eyes, the worldly eyes, but the supernatural eyes that God have blessed me, you know, to have. And I'm thankful. These eyes didn't come because of my flesh. They came because God said, you know, I'm going to give you some insight. So I am blessed. So now the question is, do you have spiritual eyes? And I'm not trying to be funny, because if you got spiritual eyes, you'll know better not to come and do something like that and to say something like that. But apparently, I don't think that you do, because you're not in line and you're not in tune to, you know, the message or the messenger that can help and that can heal somebody. The total thing that I just want individuals to know is that, you know, for whatever reason, whatever that may come at you, keep God first in your life. Keep God first. Yes, I am on that spiritual journey, and I know I see things different now. Thank you, friend. Thank you. All right, friend. So that is basically that. Know that share the message, share the blessings that God sent us here to get along, not really to be in war, and not really to fight with one another, and not really to turn something chaotic into something that can be so simply when it comes to family values. You know, love is love and peace is peace. That's all I can say. That's exactly what it is. And anyone that don't want to be loving and don't want to be peaceful, and anyone that is basically putting a wedge between family, that's not of God. That's not of God. When you put a wedge between family, and when you think that your family is better than mine, or I show you I do this, you know, I have kids, I show you that he loved me. That's the flesh. Just straight up. That's the flesh. And when I say the flesh, it's the flesh. See, God is not flesh. He's spirit and truth. God is a renewing, what you call a divine spirit. That's what God is. And God, you know, he's listening right now. When I say listening, understanding that I don't mean no harm toward anyone. But I got to get off this particular live, friends. I have been here well enough, and things, go back and watch it again. Continue to keep your notifications on. You never know when I may come up. Hope that my friends enjoy this breaking of more understanding of not knowing, you know, what not knowing my purpose to knowing. You know, I'm showing up over here and everything just to be about the business of the light that God put in me. I'm every day, when I say every day, you know, I'm a real life version of who God created me to be. I will be sharing my life journey along the way. If you want to, you know, stay included and stay motivated, you know, just keep your notifications on. Know that there are certain days I may just be where I need to be at, and I just may pick up this particular camera and allow my friends to just, you know, chime in to the message or to the conversation that I just want to talk about, you know, about what you call that power praying. breaking those generational cycles, knowing that, God is that way maker. Anything that we need, I'm here for it. And when I say I'm here for it, this is my reason and purpose of this particular YouTube space. Like I said, I can't take you along the journey to say, at this point in time, like I say, of doing anything else. If things change, I'll let you know. When it comes to real estate, I expressed yesterday how things go, but sometimes I can't just pick up the camera and have individuals all in the business when, there are some personal things that is being shared and going down. I cannot do that way. Now, on the other hand, it can be filmed and graphed out, on my daughter page as she do things, but everything, some things are real personal when it comes to even that business. But once again, I'm gonna do my best just by coming here, keep your notifications on, know that God love you, be a blessing, stay prayed up. Pray for somebody else that is going through right now. Pray for somebody else that's in a custody battle right now. Pray for the families. Pray for divorces, that it's being ripped up and torn up by the hands of the enemy. Even if it's not, going to be together, just pray for the mindsets that is coming out. Pray for the parents to be healthy and whole, what you call co-parenting. Pray for the other woman, the other individual, that feel like, I got them now. You ain't nothing you can do about it. And, I must be better and all that. Pray for their mindset. And when I say pray for them, pray for them. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Pray for them. Pray for them. In other words, bless them. What's the greatest thing that can happen to you when you're praying like that? And I'm just being honest. Like I say, it takes it takes the mindset to be delivered, to walk in this light when you get like this. Pray for them. Pray for them because they know not what they do. Pray for them. Blessings and power unto you, friends. Like I say, share the message. You all have a great day and things. I love you, and God love you more, okay? Thank you so much. Blessings and power unto you.